The gentle hum of the café filled the air as Emma sat near the window, her wheelchair parked neatly beside the table. She'd spent an hour choosing the perfect dress, a soft blue one that made her feel confident again. It was her first date in 3 years since the accident that took away her ability to walk. Her heart fluttered with nervous excitement. She had met Daniel online, his messages were warm and kind. But now, as the minutes ticked by and the seat across from her remained empty, she began to wonder if this was just another cruel joke played by fate. The waiter passed by with a sympathetic glance. Emma forced a smile, pretending she wasn't checking the door every few seconds. She sipped her lukewarm coffee, each passing moment cutting deeper. The laughter of couples around her echoed like reminders of everything she had lost: mobility, confidence, and maybe even trust. Her phone buzzed once, just a single text. "Sorry, something came up. Can't make it." No apology, no explanation. Just that. She stared at the words until they blurred. Emma's chest tightened. She blinked fast, not wanting anyone to see her tears. The humiliation stung more than the pain in her legs ever did. She had told herself to believe in people again. To try, to hope. Now she felt like a fool sitting in that cafe, dressed for a date that would never happen. Gathering her courage, she asked the waiter for the bill. Her hands trembled slightly as she reached for her purse, trying to keep her composure intact in front of strangers who probably pitied her. Before the waiter returned, a shadow fell across her table. "Excuse me," said a gentle male voice. Emma looked up to see a man in an elegant gray suit, holding the hand of a little girl. He smiled kindly. "Sorry to bother you, but my daughter insists we sit near you. She says you look like a princess." Emma blinked, startled. The little girl grinned from behind her father, clutching a pink teddy bear. "Daddy, can we sit here?" "She looks sad." Emma felt her heart soften instantly. The man chuckled. "You'll have to forgive her. She's honest to a fault." He turned back to Emma. "Would you mind sharing the table? The place seems packed." Emma hesitated but nodded. "Of course," she said softly. The girl climbed into the chair opposite Emma while her father sat beside her. The man extended his hand. "I'm Michael, and this chatterbox is Lily." Emma shook his hand politely. "Emma," she replied, her voice faint. She hadn't smiled genuinely in months, but something about their presence made her feel lighter. Lily leaned forward. "Why are you sad, Miss Emma? Did someone make you cry?" The innocence in her tone disarmed Emma completely. She smiled gently. "No, sweetheart, I just thought I'd meet someone today, but it didn't work out." Lily frowned. "Then that person is silly. Daddy says real people don't walk away from good hearts." Michael's eyes met Emma's across the table, and something unspoken passed between them, understanding. He said nothing, just offered her a warm, reassuring look. The waiter returned, surprised to see new guests at Emma's table. Michael ordered coffee for himself and hot chocolate for Lily. Emma tried to relax, but she couldn't shake the strange warmth spreading in her chest. It wasn't romantic. Not yet, but comforting. Michael asked her about the book in her lap. "You like poetry?" he asked. She nodded, surprised he noticed. "I used to write," she said quietly. "Stopped after the accident." He nodded slowly. Sometimes the best words come after the hardest falls. Lily sipped her drink happily, smearing chocolate on her face. "Daddy, can I show Miss Emma my drawings?" Michael smiled. "Of course, honey." Lily pulled out a small sketchbook filled with colorful crayon drawings, flowers, stars, and one picture of a woman in a blue dress beside a smiling man. "That's you," she said proudly, pointing. Emma laughed softly. "Me? You just met me." Lily nodded seriously. "But you're nice. I draw nice people." Tears threatened again, but this time, they weren't from pain. Michael looked at Emma's wheelchair without pity, only curiosity. "If you don't mind me asking," he began gently, "how long has it been?" 3 years, Emma replied. "Car accident. Doctors say I may never walk again." She said it flatly, like she'd rehearsed it. Michael didn't respond with sympathy, just respect. "And yet you're still here, smiling at my daughter. That's strength." His words sank deep. Nobody had called her strong in a long time. For a moment, she believed him. Time passed quickly. The cafe, once a place of disappointment, had become filled with laughter and warmth. Emma found herself telling stories she thought she'd buried forever. Her dreams of being a writer, her love of music, her fear of being forgotten. Michael listened with a quiet attentiveness that made her feel seen, truly seen. He shared little about himself, only that he ran a small company and spent most of his time being a single father. "Lily keeps me human," he said with a smile. When Emma glanced at her phone again, she realized nearly 2 hours had gone by. She hadn't felt time move like that in years. Lily was now giggling at something silly her father whispered, and for the first time in a long time, Emma laughed too. It was unrestrained and real. Michael looked at her and said softly, "You should laugh more often. It suits you." She blushed, unsure how to respond. There was something undeniably kind in his eyes, no pity, just warmth. Outside, rain began to fall softly. The rhythmic patter against the glass filled the silence between them. "Do you need help getting home?" Michael asked. Emma shook her head. "I came in my van. It's modified for me." He nodded. "Impressive. You're full of surprises." Lily piped up again. "Daddy, can we drive her home?" "It's raining." Michael chuckled. "She's independent, sweetheart." But Emma smiled. "Actually, I wouldn't mind the company." Michael paid the bill before she could protest. "Consider it a thank you," he said, "for making my daughter's afternoon." Emma tilted her head. "I think she made mine." They stepped outside together, the rain glistening on the pavement. Michael held an umbrella over her as Lily skipped beside them. People stared. At the man, the little girl, and the woman in a wheelchair, but Emma didn't care. For once, she didn't feel invisible. When they reached her van, Michael hesitated. "It's rare to meet someone who changes your day without trying," he said. Emma smiled faintly. "Then I guess we're even." He opened the van door for her and watched as she skillfully transferred herself into the driver's seat. "You really don't let anything stop you," he said quietly. "You shouldn't either," she replied with a knowing smile. Before they parted, Lily tugged on Emma's sleeve. "Will we see you again?" Emma's throat tightened. "I'd like that," she whispered. Michael handed her his card. "Coffee, sometime, on purpose, not by accident." She took it, laughing softly. "We'll see." Then, as her van drove away through the rain, Michael stood there holding his daughter's hand, strangely certain that he'd just met someone extraordinary. That night, Emma couldn't sleep. The memory of the cafe lingered. Lily's laughter, Michael's calm voice, the way he looked at her without pity. She scrolled through her phone, stopping at his card resting on the nightstand. Michael Reynolds, CEO, Horizon Tech. The name sounded familiar, but it wasn't the title that made her heart race. It was how genuine he'd been. In a world where people saw only her wheelchair, he had seen her. Emma smiled to herself, whispering, maybe second chances exist after all. The next morning, as sunlight spilled through her window, Emma wheeled herself to her desk and opened her laptop. She hadn't written in years, but today, words flowed like a forgotten melody. She wrote about courage, about loneliness, about a man and a child who reminded her that kindness still lived in unexpected places. Hours passed unnoticed. For the first time since the accident, her heart felt alive again. When she finished, she emailed herself the draft with the subject, Hope Cafe Chapter 1. Meanwhile, Michael sat in his office, but his mind was elsewhere. His company had just launched a major project, yet he couldn't stop thinking about the woman at the cafe. He admired her strength, her quiet dignity. "Daddy, are you thinking about the princess?" Lily asked, swinging her legs from his office chair. He smiled, caught. "Maybe I am." Lily clapped her hands. "Then invite her again. You always tell me not to be scared of nice people." Michael chuckled. "You're right, sweetheart. Maybe I will." 2 days later, Emma received an unexpected email. Subject: Coffee, Round 2. She opened it with trembling hands. "Hi Emma, it's Michael. Lily won't stop asking about you. She says her drawings are incomplete without your smile. Would you join us at the park tomorrow? No pressure, just friends." Emma's heart raced. She reread the message a dozen times before typing back, "I'd love to." For the first time in years, she looked forward to tomorrow, not with fear, but with joy. The park was vibrant the next day, children laughing and running along the paths. Emma rolled her wheelchair under a large oak tree, scanning for them. Then she saw Lily waving wildly, Michael close behind with 2 cups of coffee. You made it, Lily squealed, rushing over. Michael smiled. I brought your favorite, caramel latte, right? Emma blinked. You remembered. He shrugged playfully. Some details stick. The ease between them felt natural, like they'd known each other far longer than a few days. Lily spread a picnic blanket while Michael helped unpack sandwiches. It's our weekend tradition, he said. We feed ducks, draw, and try not to spill chocolate. Emma laughed. That sounds perfect. The hours slipped by. Michael told stories of running his company and raising Lily alone after his wife's passing. Emma shared how writing had once been her world. They spoke with openness that surprised them both. For 2 broken souls, the laughter between them began to stitch invisible wounds. As the sun dipped low, Lily fell asleep on the blanket, her teddy bear tucked under her chin. Michael and Emma sat in peaceful silence. You know, he said softly, people often treat me like a machine, successful, composed, untouchable. But with you, it feels human again. Emma's throat tightened. And you make me forget the word broken. Their eyes met. The world around them seemed to fade, replaced by something tender, fragile, real. Rain began to fall again, gentle at first, then steady. Michael quickly grabbed the umbrella, holding it above them. Emma laughed, remembering the café. You and rain seem to follow me, she teased. Maybe it's fate's way of giving us new beginnings, he replied. Drops glistened in his hair. She wanted to say something, but words felt small against the moment. She simply whispered, thank you, for staying. He smiled. Thank you for letting me. Over the following weeks, their friendship deepened. They met for coffee, at bookshops, sometimes at Michael's office, where Lily proudly introduced Emma to everyone as Daddy's best friend. Emma began writing again seriously, her stories inspired by real encounters and raw emotions. Michael became her silent supporter, reading drafts late at night, leaving encouraging notes like, you have a gift, don't let fear bury it. The bond between them grew, not rushed, but beautifully sincere. One evening, Emma received an invitation. Horizon Tech Gala, embossed in gold, with her name written by hand. Michael's message followed. Would you be my guest? It's time the world met the woman who reminded me what purpose looks like. Emma hesitated. Crowds terrified her, but something inside whispered, you've come this far. On the night of the gala, she arrived in a midnight blue gown. As she entered, murmurs spread through the room, but not of pity, of awe. Michael met her halfway across the hall, eyes full of admiration. You look breathtaking, he said sincerely. Emma blushed. You clean up pretty well yourself. Cameras flashed, people greeted him, but his attention never wavered from her. During his speech, he surprised everyone. Tonight, he said, I dedicate our new accessibility program to someone who reminded me that strength doesn't always stand, it sometimes rolls forward. The crowd turned to Emma, who fought back tears. After the applause faded, Michael joined her at the side of the stage. You've changed more than you know, he whispered. Emma shook her head. No, Michael, you reminded me I was never less. Lily ran to them, holding 2 small paper crowns. You're both royalty now, she declared proudly, placing one on each of their heads. The room laughed, but for Emma, that moment felt like a coronation of healing, hope, and love rediscovered. Weeks later, Emma published her book Hope Café. The dedication read, to those who sit alone and still dare to believe someone will sit beside them. At the launch, Michael and Lily were in the front row, clapping the loudest. As cameras clicked and lights shimmered, Emma looked out and smiled. Not as a woman in a wheelchair, not as someone left behind, but as someone who had found her place again. Because sometimes, the right stranger doesn't just walk up, he stays.